Hello everyone, welcome to Energy First Golf. Today we're going to talk about the correct golf mentalities. The first most important golf mentality is that energy first. Now in this video you can check it out why energy first. Okay, because the ball, it's not moving, it has zero energy. So check out this video please. Now the second most important is that your hand-eye coordination, it's not important to play golf. Which means if you right now try to hit the ball with your hands, or you say my club's in my hands, I want to use the club head to hit the ball, that's not important. Why is that? It's because if the ball's in your hands right now, if you see a target right now, right? If I have a ball in my hand right now and I see a target, you will not think about if you have the ball or not. You will think about how do you create motion which have energy that's going to propel the ball to a target. There's not one single moment you as a thrower or player you would think about the actual ball in your hand. But just because the ball is on the ground, then you will go, well, I need to make sure I make contact. But that mentality is incorrect. Now, because when you make contact, you actually have a movement that's not a golf swing. You actually try to stop at the ball, which is what we talked about, impact later. Because when you have a motion, you have energy first, you're not going to deal with a stopping position. Okay, if you do stop, that's also called deceleration, and we're going to talk about deceleration in the future videos. But today I want to make sure you're understanding hitting the ball or use your hand-eye coordination, it's not going to help you learn how to play golf. Okay, hitting the ball is not important. To create a motion that has correct energy, then the ball is going to go to a target or cover a certain distance. That's the correct mentality, right? So in the beginning, the first stage when you learn golf, the power struggle stage, is exactly what you have to learn is how do you move your body correctly to get through the ball without an influence of your eyes and your hands try to make contact and hit the ball. So please do not hit the ball. Always ask yourself, are you hitting the ball or are you learning how to swing through the ball? Okay? And third, I know a lot of you say, hey, I have heard this term, if I'm very athletic and if I have a lot of, athleticism, my previous sports, experience with other sports going to help me play golf. Yes and no. But in the beginning, when you first learn golf, your athleticism from the previous sports is not going to help you. The reason why is because all the other sports that you have played before is all really are two-dimensional sports. Now, I know a lot of you say, hey, I play basketball. Sometimes I make a turn, I dribble. But remember, when you're turning, you're not actually propelling an energy to a target. When you do shoot the basket, you actually have to stop and you may do a jump shot. And then you have a two-dimensional movement, which is a lateral movement. And then you shoot at the basket, which is a target, but you don't ever think about do you have the ball or not, because that's not in your conscious. All right, so in other words, when you learn golf's three-dimensional. So there's a lot of three-dimensional requirements, meaning your body movement, how to recognize the correct muscles to create a three-dimensional movement. So your natural athleticism of a two-dimensional world isn't going to help you in the beginning. So just because you think you're very athletic, then you can learn how to play golf correctly. And that's a very wrong mentality. And the truth is, if you look at a lot of LPGA Tour players, they're not very athletic, meaning they don't have a lot of muscles. They may not be the fastest runner. And the truth is, a lot of PGA Tour players, they may not be the typical football players, basketball player, baseball players, all the other sports that you have known growing up. So just want to make sure it's a wrong golf mentality. If you think you have good athleticism, you're going to apply your previous experience to play golf. Now, once you learn the correct energy, the correct movement, it will help you in the long run. We're going to talk about that in the future videos also. But right now, just make sure you're understanding your athleticism isn't going to help you learn how to play golf in the first stage of learning golf, which is the power struggle. All right? Now, the fourth wrong mentality is that a lot of people think that you need to hit the ball really far. The truth is, remember, there's a limit and there's a distance every hole that you play on the golf course. Okay? So, to play golf, the ball does not have to travel as far as it can. Okay, you don't need to feel like you're learning a movement that's going to propel the ball as far as you can. Now, a lot of times, a lot of guys say, man, I see these guys in the long drive guys, and they hit the ball like 400 yards. Is that good for golf? Yes, but can you keep it consistent? Okay, can you keep a consistent distance? Because you see when they do a long drive champions, those balls go very far, but a lot of times they have 8 balls and none of them get inside the grid of 50 yards. And that's typically a length, the width of a hole on a par 4 or par 5. So make sure you're understanding just hitting the ball very long is not golf. Okay, golf, you have to understand that you have to control distance to play this game really well, which is actually our second stage, speed and distance control. But when you first learn golf, you must have the correct mentality when you're stepping onto what? A practice range and a tee box. Otherwise, if you think about hitting the ball as far as you can, that will not help you learn how to play golf. All right? The fifth wrong golf mentality. I know a lot of you watch Golf Channel, watch the professional play, and they all have such a beautiful swing, and a lot of times you say, man, I want to copy that, I want to learn that, and maybe this is good for me. Understanding right now, if you started learning golf after you're 16 as an adult, it's actually very difficult to copy what most elite players in the world do. Mind you, a lot of them started playing golf very young. And the truth is, when you start playing golf very young, you will use a lot of correct energy because why? You don't have a lot of arm muscles, upper body muscles, and a lot of them will learn how to use the hips and the core in their swing, right? So just because they can do it, it does not mean you can do it. You as an adult learner, you must learn the correct way. Do not copy what they do. And again, throughout the channel, we're going to be discussing and talk about why there's certain things that you may not need to learn and do, even though a lot of tour players doing. Okay? So remember, it's very different. You right now as an adult learner, when you're learning this game, the golf swing is really a foreign body language. Okay? You're learning a foreign language. You must learn it from a correct foundations. And do not try to copy what the tour players doing. So that's one of the very wrong golf mentalities. Okay, and the truth is, how many of you have quick tips here and there? Maybe I should do this. And then one day you find your golf swing. You say, hey, I found my golf swing on the range. And the next day when you go play, it's not there. It's because there's no foundational structure in your golf swing. Because why? Energy first. You don't know what that energy is because why? You think you have a power to control the ball, but that's incorrect. You need correct energy to control the ball. All right? The last but not least, a lot of you would tend to compensate because you say, well, I have a pattern. I'm hitting the ball, slicing. I'm going to aim. The ball is going to the right, I'm going to aim left, and I'm going to play it that way. That is a poor man's compensation. It means you're not supposed to do that because it just frustrates you more as you're learning it. Because why? You never try to correct from an energy first basis. from a internal mechanic basis. All right? So, thank you for watching this video. We list all the wrong mentalities.
Well, hope you enjoyed this video. Click here to subscribe to our channel. If you want more Energy First golf instructions, I will think these two videos you will find interesting.